Wait, what is this? This is a manga section from Fire Force. I saw a couple episodes of the anime. It didn't seem that good, but then like Fire Force is the one where one of the girls' like personality traits is that she keeps getting sexually assaulted, right? Like the universe conspires to rearrange fate in such a way as to make sure she's constantly getting assaulted or something. Like every time she like turns a corner, it has to be like there's a banana peel she slips on, and her tit just like wiggles out of the shirt and like lands on some guy's face or something like that, right? Hold on, these manga panels are getting heavily ratioed right now. I cannot help but admit to some curiosity. You guys should have posted the whole thing. This is better in context. Tamaki is awesome. Fire Force is awesome. I guess we'll find out. Hold on. For victory, show them the power of lewdness. That's like the bold text like this in manga means that like it's basically like an announcer talking over the manga. It's not being said in character by anyone. If you hate skin that much, that I've got something to show you. Oh man, doing this 6 years after Kill la Kill? Bold. Wow, she's in a bikini and the clothing is super heavy. I remember that from Naruto. uh the real weight of sex appeal, and then she's mad. Oh no, this is like gonna be an anti-SJW comic. What do you think you're doing in front of children, you vulgar whore? Do you not feel any shame as a woman? All right, get ready for the I'm guessing a male author to yeah, okay. Just shut the hell up, you fucking bitch. I'm trying to defeat this fake assault over the what? Is this the real dialogue? Who wrote this? I don't need your goddamn commentary on everything I do, so stay quiet. Licked? Did you hear that? Can you believe her? Don't look at me. This is very cringe dialogue. I hope this is a bad translation. I have to say, though, the font choice and the fact that this right here was done makes me think this might be the official translation. Usually fan translations just do the dialogue bubbles, but they leave the kanji for the sections of text that are over actual drawings because it I'm not done with it yet. Because as an amateur translator, it's a lot of work to like manually remove the kanji and then like add over it. Like that's usually a professional thing. This might be professional translation. Oh no. All right. So you're saying she's not supposed to do that because she's got a cute body? Then say you wouldn't mind if it was an old person with an unattractive body? Wait, what? When did the yelly SJW lady say that she shouldn't do that because she has a conventionally attractive body? She just said don't get naked in public. She didn't say you can't do that because you're hot, right? Am I missing something? Hold on, let's just read the whole thing, okay? Exactly. Everyone should be given an opportunity. It's unfair for only the people with curvy bodies to be praised for their appearance. This is a real conversation that SJWs have in public all the time, by the way. I can say back in LA when I'd go down to the Santa Monica pier, I would often see people with like pink hair like scream at hot women bikinis and be like, "This isn't fair. Wear a burqa." Vaush, isn't the stereotype more of a conservative Christian? No, I don't think a conservative Christian would be saying it's unfair that only skinny people get praised for their appearance. This is like a straw man of like progressive politics, right? Because if it was just like Christian morality or like conservatism, then she would just be like, you shouldn't be naked in public no matter what. It feels more like an SJW straw man. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, anyway. And then this 5-year-old boy says, Mommy, you're not making any sense. Again, this happens all the time. Get ready for the audience applause at the end of all this. If that girl needs to be considerate of others because she looks cuter than others, then are you claiming everyone who stands out at anything needs to be considerate too? The mom shocked that her little son would find the chink in her logical armor, gasps, or whatever this expression is meant to convey. You're an elite researcher at Hajima, so you stand out in that aspect, right, mommy? But if there was someone who was dumb and couldn't become a researcher even though they wanted to, are you saying that you would then let them become a researcher in your stead? What? What? Is this a shitpost? This real thing? This is real from the manga. This is a thing they actually put in the manga. This really happened in real life, by the way. Bad players will have to be allowed to be regulars in sports, and dumb people will have to be allowed into universities. And in music, there's already a lot of bad singers that live off their looks, but Oh, no. I became smart oh, look, wait, hold on, look. Notice how now she has, like, the unhinged yelling face, see? Like, somehow her anger and irrationality is pulling her cheeks in. So she's soy-facing now. Somehow the shape of her face is being, yeah, rearranged to conform to the rationality of her arguments. I became smart because I put in the effort. I'm different from people who were just blessed with looks from birth. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, I know where this is going. I'm only the way I am because I put in the effort. It's not the same. And this 5-year-old boy is about to be like, do you know how hard it is to keep a rock-hard bod as a hot rockin' babe? Being smart is still a talent. There are tons of people in the world who can't understand how they should study. You're wrong. You've been smart from birth. It's thanks to that I have top grades at school, too. And the trained body of the female fire soldier is beautiful. Why does he have to be a 5-year-old boy? What is just a common sight when you're out on the town, you know, like the mother, mother, have you learned nothing? The trained physique of the warrior is beautiful. Your way would cast aside all those who stand out. Mother, a beautiful body like that is proof of daily training and hard work. Oh no, oh god, the fucking art. No way! No! The mom tries to slap him, but he blocks it! He blocks it! This kid, the mother, enraged that her little child would point out that exercising takes effort, tries to strike him, but effortlessly. Look, he's not putting any effort in. Effortlessly, he blocks the strike. Even if you threaten others with his voice deepens. Even if you threaten others with violence to force your ideals on them, your sexual frustrations won't be solved if you don't change yourself. Dude, why are you talking to your mom like that? Your sexual frustrations? Okay. And then the mom, destroyed with facts and logic, enraged at her impotence as she's unable to land a blow on the infant she attempted to hit, screams Tatsuto, which I'm gonna guess is his name. And then the kid says, yes, I'm Tatsuto. On the way here, the captain of the 8th Company called me that, turning me into a character? But mommy, what was your name again? Huh? I only thought of you as my mommy? Is this supposed to be some meta thing? What? And that's it? Is that it? That's it. I guess that's like a meta thing. I'm gonna have to Roblox myself, man. That was really bad, guys. I can't believe somebody who writes and draws manga for a living actually made, like, the manga equivalent of one of those, like, boomer and then everyone clapped comics. It's actually worse than those, I think, because a lot of effort was put into this. At least when you see one of those Facebook reposts where they're like, you know, the atheist teacher said, God is fake, and if anyone can prove he's real, I'll give them $100. Then the boy stood up from the back of the class. Sir, have you ever seen your brain? Like, shit like that, you know? You know how long it takes to make those? Somebody types it up on Word, and then Photoshops like a minion in the background, and then they're good, okay? That takes like fucking 2 minutes, all right? This went through a publisher. This guy did rough drafts of the art, inked over it, sent it to a publisher, the original prints, and then it got put in books. This is very embarrassing. I am very embarrassed for the person who made this. And it's not surprising to me that somebody who would engage in this much of a, like, narcissistic, like, political XP screed would be the same person who has a character whose job it is to get sexually assaulted for, like, laughs. You know what I mean? I do like this because, and I've always maintained this, reactionaries are just bad at making art. Really, they are. And they seethe at this 24/7, by the way. That's why conservatives despise Hollywood, okay? Because they can't get into it. Ben Shapiro couldn't get into it. The constant, like, failed comedy runs, like all these, like, loser right-wing demagogues who did a run at comedy in LA and then couldn't, like, hack it, so they did something 10 times as easy, which is conservative commentary. They hate it, okay? And the thing is, they don't hate it because it's left-wing. Guys, look at, like, mainstream movies from Hollywood. They're left-wing because, like, Disney movies have a character who's gay in the 3-second scene where they look at their husband and say hello. Like, mainstream Hollywood really isn't like super crazy progressive. There are some studios and directors who are, but for the most part, a lot of mainstream Hollywood stuff is, you guessed it, like constant pro-America war propaganda, you know? Like, like that's a huge chunk of it, you know? Like, look at Michael Bay movies. That shit like dominated the airlines for years and years and years. And they're all like military porn, you know? Super pro police, super pro military. Like, it's not that Hollywood's super far left. It's that fundamentally, like, reactionaries aren't that great at producing art, and they hate it. They hate their cultural irrelevance. That's why everything good in the world has a conservative version of it that's worse, you know? All good social media has its conservative mirror, which is worse. All good you know, like big like creative industries have their conservative mirror. They're always trying to do this like alternate like side industry, you know, and it always sucks. They never get as big, and it's because their art is bad. I mean, all you have to do, by the way, is watch, yeah, what is it, God Is Not Dead? Watching propaganda be made from the right, I mean, it is so bad all the time, like holistically. um really bad stuff. And I'm speaking in generalities, of course. There have been conservatives who do a good job making art like individually, but I think that as a group, like as a political bloc, they're pretty bad at it. And it's because they can't resist doing shit like this, dude. Okay? This is God Is Not Dead. This has all the subtlety and grace of God Is Not Dead. Yeah, Babylon Bee is a great example. Conservatives wanted to make their own version of The Onion, so Babylon Bee launched, and they have now 28 like articles, all of which are headlined "Person transitions into X or identifies as X to avoid Y." That's like that. Like, you could just look that up on their website, and it's like, man identifies as B to get on the new E Environmental Protection Agency B list. Person identifies as water to that's just helicopter jokes. Whatever. I can't make it because I'm also not funny because I'm secretly a fascist. Anyway, this is God Is Not Dead. Okay, this was written with all the grace and subtlety of a person who has never written a manga, read a manga, or in fact experienced any form of art, smashing a hammer against a typewriter. And I love it. I do love this. And this got ratioed too. Oh God. Let me see. Hold on. I don't know if there's going to be porn in the quote tweets because it's Twitter and it's manga. So I just want to see really quickly. And yeah, it's pretty much people making fun of it for what I thought it is. Wait, is the guy who did Fire Force the same person who did Soul Eater? Yes? Oh wow. What a fall off, dude. Holy shit. What a glow down. Oh my God, what a cliff's edge to launch yourself off of. Holy fuck. Soul Eater was bad though. I watched one episode and hated it, but I know other people have liked it. I've seen some stuff from it, and it's certainly not like that level. I've never, if there was any part of Soul Eater that was as bad as the section of manga that we just read, then I would have heard about it already, you know? I would have been informed. You know what I mean? Dude, he's falling off. He's like you know Alex Dapadopoulos? Alex Dapadopoulos? Akadapadopoulos? Alexopoulos? The conservative comic artist. He did the Biden You Ain't Black thing. George Alexopoulos. That's it. George Alex Morty. That guy. Remember when the first few comics he did were actually like super funny? The first few comics that he did were pretty funny. The Biden You Ain't Black thing, that shit's pretty funny. That still makes me laugh, you know? But then but when it became clear that with regards to his politics, he wasn't much else besides like a Trumper, all of the creative drive in his brain burnt out. And every comic now is like straw man and then like liberal screaming face. You know what I mean? Like, that's every single one of them. You know what I've talked about this before, right? I think that initially he had a pretty good spark, but like, dude, being a conservative just rots your brain, man. Are we 100% sure this is official? Yeah, I'm just gonna say yeah. I'm just gonna say yes. If you really want to, then fine. 1 second. Reddit, Fire Force. If people are talking about it, it's probably from a recent chapter. We will see it in the manga chapter discussion. Chapter 281. Yep. And hey, take a look at the kind of people who like Fire Force. Here's the top comment. This kid went off. What an absolute legend. This kid destroyed his mom with statements of value. Reading this chapters feels like your IQ goes a level up. Tatsuto's mother destroyed by facts and logic. Usually how to end an argument with a woman. I'm really feeling the Fire Force fan base right now. Now I see why he wrote this in. It resonates. It resonates with the community that likes Fire Force unironically in spite of how it is, you know? I loved it. That shit blew my mind. Like, uncritically. This is... I talked yesterday about, like, anime needing some exterminata shit going on, okay? And this is, like, perfectly... For those who don't get it, the mom is supposed to represent all the people crying about Tamaki over the years. Okubo pretty much called them out. So, exactly. It's like an artist insert. And his straw man of the people who have criticized Fire Force is that people think it's unfair for pretty ladies to be naked, but not fat ladies. Like, that's the problem people have with Fire Force. As opposed to the actual problem that people have with Fire Force, which is that it's really bad. Which is that it's bad, you know? That's the main problem with it. Also, it's not that she gets naked, it's that she keeps getting assaulted. I can't even show that shit on stream, you know? Like, all the time. I think that's the... Tatsuto really went, no, you're not in this episode, to his own mom. What a Chad. Alright. Oh, that was good. At one point, a main character tries to open a door and he accidentally grabs her pussy. It's so fucking gross. Yeah, hold on. Wasn't there, like, a big comp on that or something? I don't even know if I can show that shit. This post is called, fan service ruined Fire Force for me, but the image that it's pulled from is so low res that I can't even, like, see what the fuck it is they're complaining about. Anyway, it's just, like, standard trashy shit. I've said this before, but, like, guys, if you want fan service in your manga or anime, fucking go for it, okay? Just don't be a pussy-ass bitch and actually fully commit to it, okay? If your version of, like, ideal fan service is just, like, girls constantly getting accidentally molested, I'm just going to assume you're a rapist. I'm sorry. Look, again, I do not care if you have fan service in your shit, okay? But it's really weird when the only way that fan service can manifest is when the girl doesn't want it. It's some weird Madonna horseshit where you're trying to preserve her virtue by making sure the only way you can appreciate her body is in the context of her shame. That's just... Look, whatever your kinks are, go for it, but that's like some deeply Freudian bullshit, and you have to acknowledge that. You can't walk your way around that. That's just true. If you want to do like a superhero anime, and one of the girls in like the superhero squad is like, yeah, my name is Tituosa. I've got big ass titties, and my power is when my titties get bigger. Fucking go for it, King. Fucking go for it. Fucking do it. Absolutely. Let's fucking go. Do it. 100%, okay? I don't give a fuck. As long as she's overage, which, hey, that's the second criteria. I know you gotta... I'm asking for two things here. Yeah, that too. I know it's gonna be hard for a lot of fans of the genre, but anyway, yeah, but like yeah, you just lost the whole community. They were following you, but then, yeah, you lost them. You lost them with that one. It's a big ask for these guys. That's why, guys, nobody gives a fuck about what the fuck is the anime? Prison School? What's the name of that? Is that what it's called? Prison School? Prison School. I mean, some people have like issue with Prison School. Look, you can have issues with Prison School if you want to. Okay, I'm not saying there's nothing to criticize in Prison School. All right, there's some stuff to criticize. Okay, all I'm saying is like I don't really see like the left getting super ass pained about Prison School. Okay, even though the main teacher looks like this. Okay, I don't see people getting super up in arms about Prison School. You know what I mean? Even though it's like the most degenerate, horny, like violence and sex-filled shit in the universe, you know? It's creepy, and and it has a lot of fucking non-con shit, but all of it is framed in a way that doesn't feel like the whole fucking premise is about like trying to creepily get off to like women because they like specifically don't want to be gotten off to. Also, the character designs are top tier. Look at this king over here on the right. You know, I debated this guy in DC once. Look at this fucking Shad. Look at this absolute fucking king, okay? How can anyone be mad about prison school? Oh, wait, I have an even better example. Guys, what's the anime where like they live in like a futuristic sexless dystopia, and then there's like the panty terrorist, and she's like, I'm gonna teach people what sex is, and it's like a Shimoneta. Yeah, it's like a sex comedy. Shimoneta was cool. I mean, again, we have the whole high school shit going on, which, I mean, if you block that out of all anime you would ever recommend, then I'm pretty much limited to like... Fuck. Anyway, it's good. I don't know. It's pretty good. I think it's Cowboy Bebop. Yeah. Cowboy Bebop, maybe? I don't know. Maybe just watch Cowboy Bebop over and over and over again. Anyway, look, the point that I'm trying to get at is, listen, anti-SJWs, okay? Here's the real lesson, all right? People don't have a problem with attractive women in manga and anime, okay? They have a problem with you being creepy about it. Yeah. So chill, okay? There's Kaiji and Akagi. They're about gambling and don't have women in them at all. Yeah, but isn't that a little weird? That was always a little weird about Kaiji to me. At least Akagi, God damn it, Akagi, is like kind of a fly episode shit, like bottle episode. But Kaiji like spans a lot of territory, and there's like never any women. You know what I mean? Kaiji's super cool though. Yeah, it's super cool. That's true. You know what I mean? Okay, we're done with this. Nice stun lock. Hope we had fun. Hope everyone had a good time. Moving along, moving along, moving along. There are still a lot of non-high school anime. They're just all isekai. Yeah, but isekai protagonists are always high school boys. Except for Log Horizon? I think Log Horizon's main characters are all adults, right? I think so. Yeah. I've never actually watched Log Horizon. It's been highly recommended, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet, you know? I worry that I'll end up disliking it, you know? I have a high expectation for political expertise in pieces of media that try to talk about it. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going to make politics and economics a significant part of a piece of media that you're making, you should know how to portray them, right? That's one of the reasons why I get super triggered. I don't know why they do this a lot in anime, man, but there will be like anime where it's all about like intrigue and like political maneuvering and shit. And like all of the political maneuvering is people figuring out that the square peg goes in the square hole in the kid's toy. You know what I mean? Like, it's a whole episode of somebody trying to put the triangle into the square hole, and then like at the end the music like spikes and you see like the dramatic like dun dun, and they figure it out, and then they put it in the triangle hole, and they're like, whew, they made it happen. It's not good. I take a potato chip and eat it. I'm not shit talking Death Note. I'm not shit talking Death Note. Yeah, you just have to know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? Real writers do research. Like people who write books, they do research and stuff. The potato chip scene is tense as fuck, though. Yeah, as long as you're not watching it with the English dub. If you're listening to it in the original Japanese, it's tense. If you're listening to it in the American fucking English dub, it's fucking hilarious, dude. I'll take my potato chip and eat it! Like, yeah, okay. There's no way to take that seriously when you're listening to it in the language you speak, but...
I'll take a potato chip and eat it.
So is prison school about getting off to male non-con since it's a hot girl doing it? All right. Stun locked again. So it's complicated, okay? Now, the dynamics of exploitation and the male gaze are really complicated, but the gist of it is this, and I'm just going to try to make this point succinctly, okay? I think that there are elements of prison school that are problematic. I think I said that. What I was saying was that the SJWs don't freak out over it the way they do with a lot of other stuff. The reason for that is because when you have something like Fire Force, the fan service is like, oh, Lamau, the girl fell out of a window and landed pussy first directly onto the errantly erect penis of the sunbathing, like some bullshit. And it's all about like the, the like the girl doesn't want it and she's like reluctant, she's ashamed and she's mortified, and like those are all like the things that accompany it. Whereas in prison school, the whole thing that's going on is like giant titted prison dominatrixes sexually abusing like guys, you know? Now, I'm not a big non-con or even con non-con fan myself, but the difference there fundamentally is where the gaze is. In Fire Force, the male gaze is applied to the women as they are shamed for their nudity and for their sexual abuse, okay? Whereas in Prison School, the male gaze is, again, directed at the women. The men who are being abused and shamed there aren't the entities from which attraction is being derived. They are the subjects that you're meant to put yourselves in the place of in order to project your feelings of attraction onto the sexy big booby dominatrix prison ward dominatrixes. That doesn't mean there aren't problematic elements to it. There certainly are. The point that I'm making is that there's a difference in the intent and the delivery. So cancel women? Sure, if you want to. I don't think many women watch Prison School, but please let me move past this. You guys understand what I'm saying, right? Please? Or to put it another way, I'll put it another way, okay? Wait, one last, very quick comparison, okay? You guys remember the snoo snoo thing from Futurama? Like, oh, these giant Amazonian women are gonna fuck us. Technically, that was rape, okay? People don't really get that mad about that because the subject of the interaction isn't let's sexualize the suffering of the men. It's let's put ourselves in the place of the men to sexualize the fantasized experience of having a gigantic 10-foot woman fuck us. You know what I mean? It's a little bit different. Now imagine the reverse, okay? Imagine a show where it's two human-sized women talking about how they're about to get raped to death by two gigantic muscular men, and the focus is on how hot it is that the women are going to get raped. The gaze is on them and how attractive they are in their abuse. I can tell from the emotes being used here that there's a sort of a difference, right? I'm defaulting to the emote appraisal school of making a point. It's not that it's funny when men are abused. It would go the other way around too, because I've seen media like, I don't know what Dream Stands post, where men are abused and the sexualization is of the abuse of the men, and that shit feels very, very different to the snoo snoo scene or what's going on in Prison School. Very different vibes between, the abused guys are who we're projecting ourselves into to imagine the hot dominatrix booby, whatever. And the sexualization is coming from the abuse of the boys or guys or whatever. Do you understand what I'm getting at here? The gaze frames the scenes. Yeah, the gaze frames the scene 100%. Yeah. But in that episode, the guys kind of won it. Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. I'm trying to indicate that as always, the gaze is at fault. Okay, the gays are at it again. Okay, I hope you guys get what I'm talking about here. It's not that there's nothing to criticize. In fact, everything that I'm talking about right now is reflective in some ways of misandristic attitudes towards men's perceived permanent interest in sexual contact, which is worth criticizing. But there's a pretty big difference in the way that the intent in the gaze frames the perniciousness of a scene. You can make another point about 50 Shades of Grey, 50 Shades of Grey gets a lot of shit, right? Now imagine 50 Shades of Grey if the focus perspective was on the rich dude and that the attraction was meant to be getting off on him being abusive towards her. Not we're putting ourselves in the woman's perspective, but we're going to put ourselves in the man's perspective. Context, right? You get it? Okay. All right, okay. 50 Shades actually does focus on Christian in the later books. I actually did hear about that. I wonder how... The thing is, I think the writer of 50 Shades is kind of like a dumb bitch. So I don't know how well she could like necessarily contextualize those bits. I don't know. I mean, I've never actually read or watched any of this shit, I'm sure you guys get the point that I'm trying to make.